Greetings and welcome to our daily walk through the scriptures for March the 2nd. Today's readings find us finishing up Leviticus and beginning Numbers chapter 1, Mark chapter 11 verses 1 through 26, Psalm 46 1 through 11, and Proverbs chapter 10 verse 23. Now there's really two things that we're going to cover today. First off, in Mark chapter 11 begins the accounting of the last week of Jesus' life prior to the crucifixion. And Mark spends a significant amount of time in this final week. So we're going to get a lot of details from this that we didn't necessarily get in the book of Matthew. And that's okay. That's one of the beautiful things about having these four gospels is the opportunity that we have to get it from a different perspective. And while they will oftentimes share the same stories, they'll also come at it from just a little bit of a different way that kind of accomplishes their purpose. Remember, Matthew was all about establishing the Jewish king, the Messianic king. Mark is more about the suffering servant and the holiness and establishing the godhood of Jesus. So we're going to see both of those things take place, especially during this final week of Jesus. And of course, the first thing that we see is the coming in and Jesus riding in on the donkey. Now, that is a significant issue, and here's why. Because when Jesus comes riding in on a donkey, he's doing the exact opposite of what the people expect. You see, what type of animal you ride in on actually signifies who you are. For example, if you were to ride in on a horse, the symbolism would be that you were a conquering hero, that you are here as a warrior, as a conqueror. However, riding in on a colt like this signifies peace. It signifies a different kind of king. And so even Jesus riding in on this colt, a colt, by the way, in this case is a donkey that has never been ridden before, that this signifies what Jesus has come to do, and he is coming to bring peace to the world in a way that it has never, ever known. So there's great beauty to be had in this. So as you read through the account and the week, keep these things in mind, that the expectations of the people versus the reality of Jesus are going to be very different. And that's still an argument today. For Jews, for those that are still of the Jewish religion, they still have a very different perspective of Jesus because of their idea of what the Messiah was supposed to look like. Okay, now, we're also starting in Numbers, which, by the way, you did it, you made it through Leviticus, and then you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, now I get to go into the book of Numbers, which is probably filled with a bunch of numbers. Well, it does have some numbers, and it does have a few of those moments where you're going to look at it and go, this kind of hurts a little bit. But Numbers is a bit of a misnomer. The name Numbers, it really isn't the best name for it. What it actually does is it actually covers the 38 years that the Israelites kind of wandered in the wilderness. And we're going to see various accounts and various situations that are going to go on. You're actually probably going to find Numbers to be quite a fascinating story. Kind of picks up right after Exodus, where Leviticus, remember, was kind of the stop where God recognized, hey, you folks are not doing what you're supposed to be doing already, so I'm going to have to create some guidance for you. I'm going to have to create some things for you to pay attention to so that you have no choice but to follow these things. So then Numbers picks up, and what you're going to read from this point on is what it was like for them for those 38 years. And you're going to hear grumblings, you're going to see miracles, you're going to see a talking donkey, you're going to see all sorts of different things that are going to happen as a result of this book. It's a pretty fascinating book, I believe. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it, get through it a little bit, and recognize that ultimately Numbers has a specific job in it. What it really is doing for those 38 years is it's really going to be, well, it's really about consequences is what the book of Numbers is. If we're going to put something on it, if we're going to give it any kind of little bit of a synopsis, it is that Numbers is the consequences of the decisions and the rebellions that the people of Israel made at Kadesh Barnea. Okay, that's really what we're looking at here. I mean, the Numbers really, the people of Israel really got in some big trouble. Okay, really huge trouble when they rebelled. And so as a result of that, God says that this generation is no longer going to get my blessing. It's now going to be the next generation, which in many ways is a graceful thing, because God is not completely wiping out the Israelites, but instead he's going to allow the next generation to be the ones that make a difference. Okay, that's it for our conversation today, and we'll dive into some more things next time.